Welcome back. Today we're detailing Fabian Hurzeler's Brighton 2024 to 2025 using the 4-2-3-1 tactic. Each role is grounded in actual match events, and today we're going to understand how we can recreate that inside of the game. Starting with the goalkeeper, a sweeper keeper. Calm, composed from the back, Verbruggen's composed passing to centre-backs and full-backs in the Fulham game enabled structured possession, and it wasn't just one game he done well in, he always got this bang on. When it comes to the central defenders, ball-playing defenders, one man is going to make up the focus, that is going to be Jean-Paul Van Heck, of course wanted by Newcastle a lot nowadays. His 41st minute header equaliser versus Fulham is the moment that I remember the most, but overall a very, very strong season and just a big player in the team, and in my opinion, he can't be replaced. When it comes to the right back, he is going to be inverted, so make sure you have got someone who can hack that role, as he is going to be stepping into midfield and almost forming a 4-1-2-2-2 shape in the build-up. The left back, you want someone quick, you want someone like Purvis. His consistent bomb and forward and crossing, especially notable again in that Fulham second half, but to be honest, he always had the energy. From minute 1 to the last minute of the game, he was up and down putting crosses in. DLP in the team, a big role in the team, occupied by a variety of players this season. They held the midfield steady, especially during the build-up phase, and they were the ones that actually initiated a lot of the passing sequences. The box-to-box, my choice is going to be Carlos Baleba. He scored the 56th minute equaliser versus Fulham by bursting forward from midfield, so naturally, in the game, we are going to have him getting on further forwards, and he is the perfect box-to-box. Advanced playmaker, again occupied by a lot of different candidates. João Pedro is a player that comes into my mind, and again, a big moment in that Fulham game. A lot of these players really did stand out in that game, but he had a great season. The same with Welbeck. They both enjoyed a great season, and this player will be responsible for roaming, linking up the play, taking more risks, really being the talisman. On the right wing, of course, you've got Simon Adingra. He was very, very vital on the ball, staying wide, crossing more, being a real high-intensity player, and of course had a really good game against Liverpool in their comeback. Another player that done well in that Liverpool comeback is going to be Matoma, inverted winger on attack on the left-hand side. He's very responsible for actually cutting inside and having shots at goals, so naturally we are going to be doing the same inside of the game. A player that stays out wide but then will come inside and have shots on the goal. As for the striker, usually it was Welbeck or Pedro that did occupy that role. Welbeck's hold-up and assist work in that Liverpool win was absolutely vital, and he done this against a lot of teams. I think Danny Welbeck may still have it. So now we've learned a little bit about it in real life, let's go and see how close we got to replicating that inside of the game. Now, we did have a really strong season overall. This Brighton team are actually relatively good in the game and in real life, and we have got a cracking tactic that replicated everything down to an absolute T. Now, Hurzeler also did play a 4-4-2 that I am going to include in this video, so don't worry, we are also going to talk over that when we get to that stage of the video. This season was done using a mixture of tactics, the mixture of the 4-2-3-1, the 4-4-2 as well. Typically, the 4-2-3-1 was used in majority of the games. The 4-4-2 against some of the big teams, mainly because I was a little bit nervous about going in all guns blazing. But as you can see, in the league, we were absolutely incredible. 28 wins, 7 draws, just 3 losses. You've got a lot of our players in the top goal scoring ranks, and you are going to see this quite often because it is quite an attacking tactic, and against the small teams we absolutely thrived. I'll be honest, against the bigger teams they were pretty scrappy games, you know, sort of like 2-1s, 1-0s, the occasional point obviously coming in. You can see we did draw 7 games right there. City's a good example of that, so it does happen, but we did win the Premier League. That is going to be the main attraction. When it comes to the stats, we are going to outscore everybody, incredibly competitive in the possession, a good amount of shots as well. Defensively, this is probably what I'm most proud of. Second place in both of the categories is really impressive. Now, that is a mixture of being good at the back, but also having a fair bit of the ball. And don't get me wrong, against the bigger teams, we did concede goals. I'm not saying we didn't, but against the teams that we shouldn't really be conceding against, we didn't do it that often. So really happy with how the team played in that regard. The Carabao Cup, a 2-1 win over Tottenham, a good example here. I actually did go into that final using the 4-2-3-1 because I feel like we can match Tottenham, especially in a final, so I did go in all guns blazing there, and luckily it didn't come to bite me. We do lose in the quarter-final here against Newcastle of the FA Cup, but we do win the Europa League 3-3 on penalties, which I won't show you the highlights because it is a little bit dead, I'll be honest with you. Penalties always take a little bit long to watch, but that was a tactic which, you know, or a game, sorry, where we did use the 4-4-2 tactic. And that's an interesting one, which I'm going to explain when we break it down, because it's actually a very, very sort of free-flowing 4-4-2 that you will concede the odd goal, but you will go out and score a ton as well. But just going into a final, I felt was a little bit more sort of sensible to play a bit more of a balanced approach, and clearly it did pay off. So a very strong season overall in the Premier League. We're talking 2.5 goals a game, 0.76 conceded, over 15 shots and a good pass completion. So it is going to be a treble winning season with Brighton. Not too bad. And we are able to score a ton of goals, especially against some of the weaker teams in the Premier League. Wolves is going to be a great example of where the 4-2-3-1 actually does come into play. A great goal there from Iari. Fantastic goal inside of 45 minutes. And we really come to life towards the end of this game. Of course, set pieces again having a big part of any of the tactics that we do drop on this channel. So make sure you are either going to watch the video or downloading them, because they are absolutely nuts. Although that one was more sort of a recovered set piece, they do play a part. Van Heck, the person who I think genuinely is going to be a quite tough man to keep at Brighton, especially with Newcastle sniffing around. A great ball there from Minter and a great goal from Welbeck to make it 3-0. And we go on to win this game actually 4-0 from a penalty in the 98th minute. And as for that Carabao Cup, as we did start in that 4-2-3-1 formation, I did regret it initially because we did go 1-0 down, and it's a great goal from James Maddison, but because we started with this tactic, I'm going to run with the tactic. So luckily for us, we do find a way back into the game in the 53rd minute. Great bit of play down the right hand side here, cutting it back into March, a little touch there, a ball back stick, and Matoma is in absolute acres of space. So back in the game, 53 minutes played, and we're the lucky enough team to go and be quite aggressive in winning the ball back there. You can see exactly how and why we are so good at winning the ball back, and we go on to win it. I mean, we'll take it. But now over to your favourite part of the video, that is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But as always, if you do enjoy rebuilds, make sure you're coming over to Daily Josh, because we've got a 10-year Brighton rebuild coming out, and we soon are going to be live streaming everything. So make sure you go and give the Twitch a follow as well. But to make this tactic, all you want to do is create your own style and load in a 4-2-3-1 DM AM wide, and we'll build it up from there today. So the first thing you want to do initially is go down to the bottom left and change it from balanced all the way up to positive. Very important, because we are actually playing quite a positive way of football, and we are not afraid to go and actually take the game to some of the teams in the league. Now, where this 4-2-3-1 does differ a little bit is we are going to have one of the players, and it is going to be on the right hand side, pushed up into a more advanced role. So we'll talk about the exact player role in a second, but the goalkeeper is going to be a sweeper keeper on defend, and essentially we have linked up every single real life instruction or real life scenario, how they played basically, and replicated it inside of the game. So whatever we said in the actual analysis, we've gone toe to toe and matched it as much as we can to create 100% realism inside of this game. So we are going to go with pass it shorter and also take fewer risks. Again, Verbruggen was so sensible on the ball, playing it shortly, not really taking too many gambles. So this sums him up absolutely perfect. When it comes to the right hand side, we are going to use an inverted wing back who is going to be on support, and he's going to be told to do multiple things: take fewer risks, dribble more, and also tackle harder. So this player naturally will get forwards. He will be on the charge a little bit, but he will also be sensible with the passing. So he ends up being a player with seven instructions on, because he has 4 by the default in that role. When it comes to both of the ball playing defenders, so we're going to quickly do that right now, that is 2 ball playing defenders. On the left hand side, he is going to be told to stay wider. On the right hand side, he is also going to be told to stay wider. Very important, both of these do provide width, because both of these players on the right and the left back that we're about to cover shortly will be getting forward at some stage, and they need to be covered. The left back is going to be a wing back on attack, and this guy is responsible for contributing a lot to this team, and I mean a lot to this team. He's going to be told to do multiple things: dribble more and also stay wide. Very important again for this player that he does have the opportunity to go forwards, because we are going to rely on it quite heavy. When it comes to the midfield, on the left hand side, we are going to use a DLP who will not be on support. He will actually be set to defend, and he's going to be told to go more direct and also tackle harder. Again, a lot of the original play created come from this man in midfield, so he needs to be allowed to occasionally hit the more direct pass, and to partner him in midfield a little bit further up is going to be the belabor role, the box to box, and he's going to have a few instructions: dribble more, get forwards, move into the channels, and also tackle harder. Now, when you take this guy out of the team, so if you drop him back here, which you could do for a defensive version, you do lose a little bit of the firepower going forward. So if you can, I would keep it to exactly what you see on your screen. I want to quickly say at this part of the video, if you are interested in getting all 3 of these tactics, getting over 230 tactics from this year, over 70 rebuild files, ad-free viewing, one-on-one tactical help, and so much more, make sure you are coming over to the Patreon. It is currently 20% off, and you can be part of a team of 5,500 members. Make sure you are coming in and getting stuck in, because there is endless stuff going on, and there is now Patreon exclusive tactics, so don't go and miss out. Going up to the front 4, we are going to start off with the left-hand side, who is going to be the Matoma role. He is going to be an inverted winger on attack, and he is going to be told to do this: shoot more, sit narrow, and also close down more, which is done by simply selecting the trigger press to more often. Now, Matoma is really good in this game, so if you are playing as Brighton, don't replace him. Just play him. He is an absolute baller in this game, who has also got decent finishing, so this instruction really does become quite realistic. On the right-hand side, we are going to use a winger on support, and he is going to be told to close down more, and also... let me have a little brainwave here. It is literally close down more. I've got it noted down here. I thought there was more to come, but it is literally just close down more. So, again, if this was a non-realism tactic, I might get a little bit more creative. I might tell him to cut inside and have more shots, but realism-wise, it is what it is on the tin, so we are keeping it very basic. Going through the middle, we are going to use an advanced playmaker on support, and he is going to be told to dribble more alongside of roam and move into the channels. A big creator in the team, and again, someone that I wouldn't really recommend changing any of the player roles of. And lastly, the deep line forward is going to come in on attack, and he is going to be told to dribble more and also roam from his position. And that is going to complete for you the player roles. Let's go over now and talk about the team instructions. In possession, we are going to go up to fairly wide. We're going to pass into the space, mix crosses, work the ball into the box, be more expressive, the tempo all the way up to higher, and the passing down by 1 to shorter. So actually quite easy to copy. In transition, we're going to counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and distribute to the entire back line, as mentioned in the intro. Very, very risk-free. Out of possession, we are going to go in with the high press, the much higher defensive line, trap outside, get stuck in, prevent, and the trigger press is going to be up to more often. But stay locked in. We're now going over to the 4-4-2. It's going to be the 4-4-2, which again is also quite an attacking tactic in its own right, but very, very different. So the goalkeeper does remain the same. The ball players remain the same, kind of, but they are both now also told to tackle harder, a bit more aggressive. The wing back on the right and the left are exactly the same, both on support, both on cross more and dribble more, so that inverted option does get axed, to be honest. The inverted winger on the left is now on shoot more, sit narrow, and close down on attack, and the winger on the right is simply going to be told to be on the default. The DLP does remain the same and also does the box-to-box, but they are now dragged into an obviously central position. The deep line forward comes in on support on roam, and the advanced forward is simply on shoot more often. So, obviously, what this tactic does is essentially remove that advanced playmaker and offer a more sort of direct approach going into another striker. Having that advanced forward to run off is really, really useful. You still get to keep your wingers, you know, you still get to keep the box-to-box role, but it just plays a little bit differently, and I preferred it personally in the big games. Going over to the team instructions in possession, by the way, clean slate and positive does remain. We are going to go up to fairly wide. We're going to work the ball into the box. The passing and the tempo does remain exactly the same, with also be more expressive. So there isn't too much change in terms of the team instructions, because it's mainly the shape that has to change. The only thing that does change is now actually focusing to the fullbacks opposed to the centre backs, because you can really target one of the sides. So for example, you play it to the left back, you can quickly progress it to the left mid, and you can really get an attack going quite quickly. So that is why we have favoured going to the fullbacks. And out of possession, we are actually going to go from the much higher just to the higher defensive line more often, and also prevent short goalkeeper distribution. Now, I've also gone to the effort to make you a attacking version of the default version. So this is the normal 4-2-3-1. I have made an attacking version just in case you're struggling and you need to go and grab a goal or something like that. So let's go over that right now. The goalkeeper does remain the same. The centre backs do remain the same. The wing back on the right is now on attack, on tackle harder. The wing back on the left is on dribble more and stay wide. on attack. The CM comes in on the left-hand side on automatic, on dribble more, get forwards, roam, and move into the channels. On the right-hand side, a box-to-box on dribble more, get forwards, move into the channels, and also tackle harder. The winger on the right is now on attack, and this is sort of like a this one isn't really like a realism. It's more of like an attacking version for you guys. Cut inside, shoot more, roam, and close down more. The inverted winger on attack, shoot more, sit narrow, and close down. The AP on dribble more, roam, and move into the channels. And we have gone with the advanced sword purely for goal output. We have also changed to the attacking mentality, and we are going to have some differences in the team instructions. Pass into the space is going to remain, overlap left and overlap right. We are not going to work the ball into the box because we are going down more of a get shots off at the goal approach. The passing remains the same, the tempo is now maxed out, with also be more expressive. In transition, we've got the top three ticked: counter press, counter, and distribute quickly, and play to the entire back line. And lastly, out of possession, we're going right in with the much higher defensive line, a maxed out press, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, and simply trap outside. And that will give you 3 versions of Hurzeler's Brighton. You have got a super hyper-realistic 4-2-3-1, a very realistic 4-4-2, and this one is purely for FM performance for you if you need to go and grab a goal. And that is going to be his tactics recreated in the game, and yeah, a load of fun to do, a load of fun to play with, a very, very impressive season, where, to be honest, it was the Welbeck and Matoma show. Yeah, a very, very strong season. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what tactic you want to see next in 100% realism. And if you think you could improve the videos in any way, you want to see something different in these realism ones, maybe how I talk about the breakdown, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.